Okay. Perfectionism is the enemy of good enough. I learned this from my mentor, Rachel Freeman. I was recently speaking with somebody who was saying, I just have to remind myself I don't have to be perfect. And I appreciate that sentiment, and I think a lot of people might share that sentiment. First of all, we're never going to be perfect. That's impossible. The only thing that's perfect is God, and we're not God. So perfectionism, telling you have to be perfect, is a very silly joke, because you're never going to be perfect, right? People, I realize I don't have to be perfect. Like, what are you even talking about, Willis? Like, what? That's just falsehood. Okay, so first, maybe I invite us all just to get over the idea of ever being perfect. That's just not a thing in the human realm. But let's just get back to this phrase of perfectionism is the enemy of good enough. The standard of perfection is impossible. So logically speaking, we'll never reach that standard, which means it will never be good enough, which means that we will hesitate from contributing our light, our creativity, our work, our showing up in the world, because the standard is impossible. So if the standard is impossible, then it just stands to tell you, don't do it, don't shine, don't share, don't write that book, don't sing that song, don't dance that dance, don't contribute that Dvar Torah, because it's just never going to be good enough. So what it's not a working formula for life. If perfection is godliness, well, we might be godly, but we're not God, in which case we have to have the humility to admit it will never be perfect. So yes, it takes a degree of humility to show up in the world with a product or a creative act that is human. That's the vulnerability of being human. It's vulnerable. And that's a choice. To show up humbly and still offer what we have, or to cower in fear that it's never good enough and then hold back. And it doesn't mean you're never going to be hurt. It doesn't mean you're never going to be dissed. It doesn't mean people are not going to like what you do. People will not like what you do. Somebody doesn't like this video right now. Okay, so I show up humbly, and I do it for those that might benefit for it, and I do it because I want to do it. And it's not a perfect video. They're like, so what? What's not supposed to be perfect? It's just, if it's heartfelt and sincere, or if you just want to, and it will make you happy, well, that's the most important thing in the world. So, yeah, perfectionism is the enemy of good enough. Oh yeah, that was a therapist tip for people who don't want to do therapy. Bye. Oh look, there's food in my teeth. That's perfect. Look at how perfect that is. I even did a video with food in my teeth. Come on, that's so perfect.